I'm Laura with IndoorGardening.com, and today we want to talk about how to propagate your spider plants in 3 different easy methods. Spider plants are prolific growers. They can take up to 2 years to mature and start to produce their own little plantlets, and after that, it's plantlet city. They grow a ton of them. One plant can produce hundreds of pups in its lifetime, and they are known as an invasive species in multiple countries because of how quickly they grow and how many plantlets they can create. For a houseplant parent, especially if you're a beginner houseplant parent, this is the gold mine of plant propagation. You can propagate your plantlets very, very easily. There's a lot of different ways to do it, and we're going to talk about all of them today. The first and most easy way to propagate a plantlet is to use water. Using water is a very easy method. It's readily available to a lot of people, especially if you're taking care of houseplants. It's not something that's going to be extra or expensive and something you have to go out of your way to get. You just need a jar and some water, preferably a smaller mouth jar, especially if you have a smaller plantlet. The longer they're still attached to the stem, the faster they're going to grow and the more hardy they're going to be. You can remove them from the stem and place them directly in the water or above the water slightly, allowing that humidity to evaporate, and then the roots will grow from there. Or you can leave it attached to the plant parent, stick the jar next to the mother plant, and then just place the stem of the plantlet directly in there. It's going to grow prolifically, and then you will have a fully rooted plant that you can migrate to whatever media you want. You can do it in leca, you could do it in soil, you can plant it back in with the mother plant to make a more bushy plant, or you can continue to plant your own plants on the side, put them in nursery pots or whatever, gift them to friends. They are very, very easy to grow. The next thing that you can do is to create a propagation box. We have a whole video on how to create a propagation box for you. Essentially, you want to have a clear box with a lid on top that you can seal up, and then you're going to put whatever media you want in there. The best media that we have found to work for spider plant plantlets is actually sphagnum moss because it creates a very humid environment in there, a lot of moisture and humidity right around the base of that plantlet. You can go ahead and just trim the plantlet right off the mother plant, stick it in a prop box. It will root like crazy for you, especially if you use a product like Super Thrive. Something along those lines will help as well. It just speeds it up a little bit, but it is not necessary. This last method is a little bit controversial, and it just depends on your environment. If you have a very dry environment, this method is not necessarily going to work the best for you. But if you have a higher humidity environment or you have a greenhouse environment, something along those lines, then this is going to work out really well for you. You can actually just propagate your spiderlet plantlets right in soil. You can just take the base of the spider plant and attach it to the soil. You can pin it there if you would like. You can remove it from the mother plant, or you can actually pin, wrap around, and have it grow at the base of your mother plant, and it will grow roots from there. This is slower than the other two methods, but it also prevents you from having to transplant it to soil later. So it really depends on what's going to work best for you. But it is still a very easy method to propagate a very easy to grow plant, and it's one less plant for you to worry about having in different locations as well. You can separate them from the mother plant. I know people have used the seedling trays and they'll just put soil in there, just put all the different plantlets from their one giant spider plant right in there, and then they have a whole bunch to share. So it does take a little bit longer to root, but it just depends on your reasoning and why you're trying to propagate your plant, which method is going to work best for you. You do need to make sure when you're planting the spider plantlets in soil that you're keeping it moist, so that way they have constant humidity. You do need to pay attention to the root growth when you start to see new growth on your plant, and then it doesn't pull up super easily when you give it a gentle tug, then you know it's fully rooted in there and good to go. You can cut back on the waterings a little bit. You don't have to water it as much. Now, until that happens, you do need to make sure that that soil is staying moist and that there is a lot of humidity in the general vicinity, so that way it promotes a lot more root growth. Spider plants are prolific growers. They're very easy beginner plants. They are a great starter plant for plant parents trying to learn how to propagate, or if you're trying to find plants to trade for newer, more expensive plants, this also works really well. If you have a friend that you are trying to get into plants, then spider plants are a great one as well. Hopefully this encouraged you to try a few different ways and see which way is going to work best for you in your home. And hopefully you can go forth and gift many spider plants to lots of other people and bring them into the houseplant community. Be sure to check out indoorgardening.com for more information. We're always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!